Welcome to another episode of The Read Pile. For possibly the first time in the 2+ years I've been doing this, I'm getting ahead of something. So we're going to look at The Weatherman. This is Volumes 1 and 2, which I just recently reread because Volume 3 is coming out in January. Volume 2 ended thusly to be concluded. And that was February 2020. Now, you may recall there was something in the air at that time. I don't have confirmation that this was impacted by, I would say, a global disease, but it's possible. Virtually everything else was at the time. So, nearly 4 years later, but The Weatherman Volume 3 is beginning in January, and I could not be happier. This is something that I've been wanting to reread for some time. I thoroughly enjoyed it the first time through, and there were certainly times throughout the last nearly 4 years where I was concerned whether or not this was actually going to continue to conclude, but it popped up in solicits, I guess 2-3 months ago, and could not be happier. It's a very welcome sight. There are plenty of things that I keep on a reserve pull list, a personal pull list of things that I started that never technically concluded. Autumnland's Black Monday Murders? Black Friday Murders? I can't even remember the title anymore. The Fix. What a mess. Comics, get your shit together. Anyway, The Weatherman. Fantastic series. This guy here is primarily an editor. He's written a few things, mostly this, and Nathan Fox has worked for a variety of publishers. He recently did the Dutch Zero issue, which I was not that much of a fan of, but that wasn't Fox's fault. I'm blaming Casey for that one. So, you may be unfamiliar with both of these guys. Dave Stewart, I hope you're familiar with. The guy's colored virtually everything. It's fantastic. It's phenomenal. It's incredibly well written. The art is amazing. I will talk about the story in just a moment. Look at this guy's face. Look at that. It's fantastic. It does start in the future, a couple hundred years. So there is plenty of sci-fi stuff going on, and all of it is gorgeous. It's space station, there's glare, but there's a really well done car chase in this. I'd forgotten the car chase. I talk about car chases in comics whenever they come up and how difficult they are, and I praise the ones that work really well, and this is one that works incredibly well. I mean, just look at the action, look at the expression, look at the sound effects. My God, these guys are top of their game. Anyway, one other thing before I actually get to the story. One other thing. The last page of each issue is a cliffhanger, and it's not quite the emotional gut punch of Saga. Generally, this one that I'm trying not to show is one such emotional gut punch, but they are explosive, climactic. There are plenty of explosions in this. But they are enticements to continue. They are exciting. They're cliffhangers. I mean, it's really, really well crafted, very well done comics. It is fun. It's intense. It's action oriented. This ship looks familiar to me. There's a better shot of it elsewhere. I still think there's a better shot of it. But anyway, let's talk about the story. So there is the Weatherman. He's kind of a slacker, but he's well liked by the public. He annoys his coworkers because he rolls into the studio seconds before he's supposed to go on air. I thought there was a reference to exactly how much time he had from when he woke up to when he needed to be on air, but I can't find it. But literally, he walks on set with 3 seconds to go. It's funny. It is emotionally impactful. There's a lot to think about in this. I've been putting off talking about the story. There's a lot to spoil. I'm going to spoil just the first issue. The Weatherman, I've already mentioned. What happened previously, what happened years ago, is there was a terrorist action that impacted the Earth. Basically, everyone on Earth, the entire planet, is quarantined, and everyone is expected to die because of a disease that was unleashed there. There was a small terrorist cell that was responsible for this action. This guy here is believed to be one of those terrorists who, after the act, then wiped his brain. So this version of him in the modern era doesn't remember those events, doesn't remember anything past 7 years ago. But he has now become, as I said, a well-liked weatherman, and nobody is aware that he was part of this terror cell. And now there is something new happening, and there are people that want to return those memories that were expunged from his brain in order to return to the terror cell and stop them from what they're planning to do next. So it's there's a lot happening. There's multiple subplots going on. So that's the main plot. Then there's a governmental political plot going on as far as getting reelected, the quarantining of Earth, money involved, the deaths. The public is not happy that the government hasn't found, they haven't prosecuted the terror cell. There's some spy stuff going on. There are former coworkers of Nathan here, aka Ian Black. Like I said, there's a lot happening. Every character has their own motivations for what's happening. All of it is natural. All of it is, like I said, action, funny, emotionally impactful. It's really well crafted. Highly recommended. I hope that you check out Volume 3 when that becomes available. And I hope as well Image reprints Volumes 1 and 2 if they're not currently available, but I think they should be, because I don't think this was well read at the time, and it's phenomenal. It's really well done, as I've repeatedly said, and highly, highly recommended.